Committee. Welcome to the 6th Hall of Fame Banquet and Induction Ceremony. My name is Herb Goins, member of the Hall of Fame Committee, and I will serve as your Master of Ceremonies tonight. We welcome 10 new inductees this year to join the 64 current members of the Hall of Fame. These athletes and coaches have contributed to the wonderful legacy of Andrews Athletics and have earned their place in the Hall of Fame. At this time, I'll call upon Robert Murphy for our invocation, and then we'll give some instructions concerning the dinner.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight, thankful for this occasion, thankful for each and every person that's here, thankful for the inductees this year, Father. Thank you for the way that you blessed them. Thank you for the gifts and abilities you gave them. Thank you for bringing them to this point. And we thank you for their family and their friends and all those who have supported them. We just pray you bless them as well. Father, we also thank you for Andrews High School, for what it's meant to us. And we do pray, Father, for a special blessing upon the school. And Lord, tonight, as we receive this meal, Lord, we give you thanks for it. We thank you for those who have prepared it, and we ask you to take it to the nourishment of our body. And most of all, Lord, we thank you for Jesus Christ, in whom we have life eternal. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Robert. At this time, we will have the dinner. It is a buffet, as you can see in the back. There are 2 lines going down the table. We'll start on this side and work down. And we'll ask the tables on this side, if they would, to go on first. And we do ask that in the interest of time that you go on through the line. I know sometimes we get busy chatting and talking to each other. There's plenty of time for that tonight. There'll be time after the banquet. But at this time, we'll start with our buffet. We'll start over here with the tables on this side and right here, and you can go to the back and start through. As soon as the line comes down a little bit, we'll gradually work across for the buffet. Thank you. If you would stand and remain standing until we've called everyone that is present, former members. From the class of 2014, our very first class, Melvin Fair and Brenda Jo Thomas. From 2015, John Kazaza, San Bethay, Sam Sanders, Trey Curtin. From 2016, representing Nat Bowles, Margaret Bowles, Sue Shin, and yours truly. 2017, Jennifer Taylor, Robert Murphy, Bobby Lloyd Bynum, and from 2018, Dee Dee Wardlaw. Let's give all these people a round of applause. Thank you. I hope I did not overlook you. Unfortunately, during the past year, we lost one of the members of the Hall of Fame, Coach Bob Boswell, who was in the first induction class in 2014, passed away. Bob, if you recall, had been the first football coach and athletic director at Andrews. He came from Graham High School, where he won a state championship, started the football program at the school, and of course, 5 years later, in 1972, won Andrews' first state football championship. Bob went on to North Carolina State University as an assistant coach, back to Kannapolis High School in North Carolina, where he finished his coaching before going to South Carolina. Just wanted to mention that there's something in the program concerning Bob. He was a wonderful man and certainly will be missed. I'd like to introduce the members of the Hall of Fame Committee at this time. And again, if they could stand and be recognized, if you'd hold the applause till the very end. Please remain standing. Our liaisons, Principal Marcus Goss of Andrews. Marcus, if you would stand. His wife, Demikio, is here with him tonight. Athletic Director Rod Pitt. And committee members, Founding Chairman Pete Hunter. Pete will have a few words to say later on in the program. Darlene Mason. Mike McDowell. Robert Murphy. Eddie Renard, back at the door, checked everyone in. And Sue Shin. Please give these people a round of applause. We have, excuse me, we have several coaches in attendance, former coaches at Andrews in attendance. We'd like to recognize them. Again, if you would stand as we call your name and remain standing. Dave Mizell, former head football and head baseball coach. Aldine Payne, assistant football and head baseball coach. Gwen Brooks, assistant football coach, basketball, and cross country. And John Kazaza, football coach, and tennis coach, and former athletic director.
And good sporty.
And some other coaches that have already been introduced that are in the Hall of Fame. Let's give them a round of applause. Not sure about complete former faculty members, but we do know that is the former media specialist at Andrews, Terry Brooks. Terry, if you would stand, please, former faculty member. Terry is the wife of Gwen, that we just introduced, and also the mother of Hall of Famer Shelley Brooks Bewley. Thank you, Terry, for being here. Media in attendance, Greer Smith of the High Point Enterprise, and Laura Green, who's the photographer for the High Point Enterprise. Laura will be taking pictures. She's an Andrews grad, and they're going to have wonderful write-ups on this and beautiful pictures in the newspaper for us. Also, while we're mentioning photography, doing the photography tonight and then for tomorrow night at the football game, Eddie George, been doing it for a number of years. And also the videographer is Greg Bates, right there in the middle. And on your table, if you are interested in a CD or a DVD of tonight's festivities and also of the football game tomorrow night, there's a form for ordering those. If you're interested in that, you can just see that some member of the committee would receive that, at the end of the banquet. It has been the goal from the very beginning of the Hall of Fame committee to give back to Andrews in the form of a scholarship. Last year, the first scholarship was awarded, and this year, a second recipient received a scholarship. I'm going to call upon committee member Mike McDowell right at this particular time to recognize the scholarship winner for this year.
Good evening. Since its inception in 2014, the Andrews Athletic Hall of Fame Committee was formed to help facilitate the honoring and recognition of deserving Red Raider athletes, coaches, and special supporters of Andrews athletics that have left a profound impact on the school and our community. As part of the long-term vision for the Hall of Fame Committee, it was our hope and desire to someday establish a scholarship program to help support deserving athletes graduating from Andrews through an annual scholarship program. Last year marked the first year that we were able to do so. As the number of Hall of Fame inductees has grown since its first year in 2014, this year marks our 6th year of honoring inductees. Our former inductees have been challenged and have risen to the occasion of financially investing in the Hall of Fame program. Through the challenge and sponsorship programs, we have been able to reach our vision of establishing an ongoing scholarship program. This year, we're pleased to reward Miss Destiny McFadden Alford with a $500 scholarship towards her studies at Johnson & Wells College in Charlotte. Destiny is enrolled in the Culinary Arts School at Johnson & Wells, a 4-year program with desires to become a world-class chef and own her own restaurant someday. While at Andrews, Destiny was captain of the varsity cheer team. She also served as a manager with the school's softball, football, and men's basketball teams. She also was a member of the National Technical Honor Society, Ladies of Andrews, a member of the Andrews Student Government Association, and the TRIO Upward Bound program at UNCG. Destiny graduated with a 4.0 GPA and finished in the top 5 academically in her class. She was the 2019 Prom Queen, received numerous awards such as the Multimedia and Web Design Award, the Honors Math Student Award, the Service Learning Award, and the Integrity and Responsibility Award. She also served as the freshman mentor. It is our great honor to reward this hardworking young lady with the T. Wingate Andrews Athletic Hall of Fame Scholarship for 2019. Destiny is in class tonight and could not be here with us. She sends her regrets about not being able to attend this year's banquet. But I would like to recognize and ask her mother, Miss Tamara McFadden, to stand, who is here in her daughter's place. Thank you, Mrs. McFadden, for taking time to come and be with us, and congratulations on your daughter being the recipient of this year's scholarship award. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. I would call your attention in the program to the individuals with the purchase the ads, the sponsorships, the challenge grant. All this banquet, while it's nice to have a Hall of Fame banquet, it does have some cost to it. And the costs are helped underwritten by these individuals and the scholarships. And without your assistance, we could just not do what we currently are doing. So thank you very much for that. Well, we're just about ready to begin the induction ceremony. The procedure will be that we will give a review of the individuals. At the screen to my right, to your left, pictures of the individual will be shown during the introduction. At the conclusion of the introduction, we'd like the individual to come up to the stage, over here to my left, to your right. Mike McDowell will award you with the Hall of Fame medal, and then you will have time for your remarks to the Andrews family. At the conclusion of the banquet, we will also bring back all the nominees to the front of the stage. I will do that at the end so we can get a group picture for the newspaper, and so that you can get group pictures and then individual pictures after that, should you so choose. Ms. Mason, are you ready? All right. Here we go. Introducing the Hall of Famers of the class of 2019, the 6th class. First, Kellen Brand. This 2006 graduate excelled in both football and basketball. In his senior year, Kellen was quarterback of the football team, rushing for over 1,000 yards and passing for over 1,200. In basketball, he averaged 26 points per game, was Conference Player of the Year, and first team 3A All-State. Kellen was selected in both football and basketball for the East-West All-Star Games, choosing to play in the football game. He elected to play basketball in college at Appalachian State and was a 3-year starter for the Mountaineers. Kellen was All Southern Conference his junior year, averaging 15 points per game. During his senior year, he scored a career-high 37 points against the College of Charleston. Kellen still holds the Appalachian State record for the most number of games played in a career at 131. After college, he played basketball professionally in both Mexico and Canada. Kellen currently is working as an emergency room supervisor at Forsyth Medical Center. And Kellen just got married last Saturday to Chelsea, and we appreciate them bringing their honeymoon here to the Andrews induction. Please welcome Kellen Brand to the Hall of Fame.
How's everyone doing tonight? I won't be before you long. Tonight I just want to take the time out to, first of all, say that I'm very honored to be here and to be speaking before you. First and foremost, I would like to thank God for allowing me this opportunity to be standing here in front of you. But first and foremost, I'd like to first of all say that there's been so many valuable people that's made a huge impact and played a huge role into my life. And I'd also like to, like I said, thank God for allowing me the opportunity to be here. I'm thankful for my teammates because without them, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you today. Each one has played a very vital role to the success that we were able to have as a team. They were an asset to my accomplishments. And one thing I will forever and ever be thankful for is that the memories we were able to share, the heart they brought to every game, and the love they brought to one another, which made the game, made practice and everything else easy. To all of my coaches who trusted in me, believed in me, and allowed me the opportunity to display my talents and gifts, both on and off the court, on and off the field, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for putting me in a position, to be successful. Because as every coach is always, any coach I've ever played for, they always told me I play with my heart. They never had to make me play hard, never forced me to practice. It was just something that I wanted to do, which made, took all the pressure off of me come game time because I knew practice time I was prepared. So to my coaches, I would love to, just let you know, thank you for your guidance, thank you for your wisdom, and thank you for your discipline because that's the makeup of the character of the person that I am today. To my parents, thank you for your unlimited sacrifices. Thank you for allowing me the time to grow into the young man you're standing before you today. Thank you for teaching me how to be a gentleman. Thank you for teaching me just the essential tools that I need in today's world. I'm honored that you guys are my parents, and I truly thank you. To my newly wife, we've been married 5 days. Sweetheart, thank you for all of your support. Thank you for being there for me and for providing me with your love daily. I need that. And to my family, who've supported me throughout the years, I can never thank you enough. I can honestly say traveling from, high school events to elementary school events to state, thank you. Your support has meant everything to me, and there's not enough thank yous in the world. So, and last and foremost, to the Andrews Hall of Fame Committee, thank you. I'm truly honored to be standing here. It's truly a blessing, and I am certainly proud to be a Red Raider. So I'd like to say thank you. I hope everyone here has a good time, and thanks for letting me kick it off.
inductee is Stacy Davis. Stacy is a 1982 graduate and three-sport athlete. In football, he was a 2-year starter, senior captain, and honorable mention All-State on the 11-2 State 4A semifinal team. Stacy was a state qualifier in track and the shot put. In wrestling, he went 24-8 his junior year for the 1981 state championship team, and 26-1 as a senior, winning the individual state championship at 198 pounds. And folks, this was at a time when all the classifications were lumped in together, so he was a true state champion. He went on to wrestle at the University of North Carolina and was a 3-year starter. As a senior at Carolina, he served as a team captain and was an NCAA tournament qualifier. Stacy has over 30 years experience coaching and officiating wrestling at all levels. He currently serves as the head coach at Holy Innocents Episcopal Church in Powder Springs, Georgia, and since 1998 has coached Team Georgia in the USA National Championships. He has served as the lead official in 5 Georgia high school state tournaments and 15 USA National Wrestling Championships. Stacy had the honor of serving as a mat official at the 2012 London Olympic Games, was the 2011 USA Wrestling National Official of the Year, and earlier this year was inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. As we mentioned, Stacy resides in Powder Spring, Georgia. His wife, Yolanda, and his sons, Lee and Roderick, who both wrestled at NC State, are here tonight. Let's welcome Stacy Davis into the Andrews Athletic Hall of Fame.
Good evening. First, I want to begin by saying a very special happy anniversary to my wife, 27 years. We share our anniversary today. I'm simply amazed to share this stage with this class of individuals who merits here in TWA Andrews sports history are being recognized here today. I've battled as a competitor, spent many years as an official, and now share a wrestling foundation as a high school coach. My experiences that began at Andrews have uniquely tied me together as the man that I am, and I continue to be blessed by what those opportunities have meant to me. Equally amazing, I get to share this accolade today with my twin brother. Quite often I'm asked, what does sports embody for me? Athletics exists for me in 3 Ps. That platform started here at Andrews and is represented by positive peer pressure. I'm positive in that sports allowed me to stay off the streets as a youth, to attend college, to meet and marry my wife, and to travel the world. What I love about athletics is that it brings out the best in people when times seem the darkest. I'm positive in that sports have taught me to adapt to whatever situation life presents. My peers have been positive peers. I've been able to surround myself throughout my life with people who influence me and are the platinum standard. Gold is simply for everybody else. Peers should be what you have done, what you want to do in life, and have achieved success in what you want to achieve. Peers like Bobby Lloyd and Wally Burke, who gave their time and energy to me as a young boy so many years ago. They instilled in me a love for coaching. Peers can be unseen warriors, like our teammates, who helped us become successful in our athletic endeavors. My mother, who's here today, has always been a powerful influence. Our parents raised 5 strong children who were all successful in their respective fields. My siblings and family members are here today. Represented in this room today are peers that made me a better person. Peers that were there to support me and to help me when times were good and times were bad. From my peers, I've grown as a husband. I work to be a better father. I continue to learn to coach. And though I'm retired from active officiating, I will always be influenced by the life lessons taught through sports. Rules and techniques for sports will always modify. They will adapt or they will change. But life lessons will always apply. Pressure. Well, I continue to say this over and over to the young women and men that I coach. Never let anyone tell you what you cannot achieve. Your goal should always be to achieve something that makes you a better person. Then follow your path. Social and political pressures should not influence why you do anything in life. Though realistically, we know in the current day and age that it does. The pressure to be a better you should be your determining factor. The pressure of doing what you love. Let that, with the grace of God, be the pressure that drives you. One of my favorite quotes comes from Shakespeare. The choices we make dictate the lives we lead. To thine own self be true. Being true to myself led me to growing up as an athlete and a young man in high school as a Red Raider. Sports made me a card-carrying Carolina Blue Tar Heel. Absolutely. Sports blessed me to be an active parent, supporting our sons, as they chase their own dreams. I can say that football taught me how to work as a team member. Wrestling taught me to meet anything head-on as an individual, and that it was up to me to be successful. Track and field taught me that even though I wasn't the best or the fastest, I could continue to improve my technique, which would contribute into helping me be successful in my other 2 sports. All that started here at Andrews. In closing, I say that of all the accolades that I've been blessed with, it's never been about the awards. I would trade all those physical awards to help one young man or young woman achieve their goal. I pray sports continue to bless everyone that I've been indirectly or directly influenced in the past. Today, as I'm inducted, it is my desire to continue to help others. I'm sincerely humbled and blessed to now be associated with the people previously mentioned and those that will follow me as I share this award with them. Thomas Wingate Andrews, Hall of Fame. I thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Our next inductee is Stacy's twin brother, as he mentioned, Tracy Davis. Tracy is a 1982 graduate and a 3-sport athlete. He was a 3-year letterman in football and was named All-Conference and Most Valuable Lineman on the 1981 State 4A semifinal football team. He was All-Conference in the shot and discus and track, and All-Conference in wrestling. In his junior year, the wrestling team won the state championship, with Tracy wrestling in the 185-pound class. He was also a Southeastern Regional freestyle wrestling champion. Tracy went on to wrestle at the University of North Carolina, where he was a 4-year letterman with a career record of 42, 33, and 1. He was a team captain for the 1986 ACC championship team, All-Conference, and an NCAA tournament qualifier. Tracy holds a 2nd-degree black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, a 3rd-degree black belt in Judo, and was the 1996 National Senior Judo Champion. He was an assistant wrestling coach at the high school level until 2016, and now serves as a wrestling official. He currently lives in Mebane, works as a health, safety, and environmental manager at Procter & Gamble in Greensboro. His wife, Diane, is here. She is a physician's assistant. And he has sons Jamar and Chaz, and daughter Robin. Please welcome Tracy Davis into the Andrews Hall of Fame.
Well, I can just start off saying I gotta follow my brother, so that's gonna be tough. So good evening. I wasn't sure what I was gonna talk about tonight on this very special occasion. I'm truly honored to be standing here tonight with the other inductees, including my brother Stacy. And I want to thank the committee members for choosing me to stand here as a member of the Hall of Fame of High Point Andrews High School. I reflect about my time at Thomas Wingate Senior High School and events that years later followed. I was a sophomore on the varsity football team, but I sat on the bench a lot. I think about my junior year, and I broke my collarbone starting off that year, so I had to sit again on the sidelines. I go to my senior year, and I think about, hey, my one goal with everything I did was I wanted to be an individual high school state champion wrestler. Didn't happen. And I think about even something as simple as a couple of years ago of tearing up my knee and thinking, well, I'll never get back on the mat again and coach because I physically can't. But nothing really truly reflect about my sophomore, my junior, and my senior years and events later in my life. Yes, I rode the bench my sophomore year, but I got to play and be part of a varsity team in a day where sophomores were not on the varsity team, they were on the JV team. I got to be better because I was alone with people that were stronger than me, bigger than me, and more experienced than I was, and I got to learn firsthand how to be better. I reflect about breaking my collarbone my junior year, thinking, oh wow, I start off the year it's not gonna go well. But guess what? I learned that academically, I was really, really good in school. And it's probably one of the best times I realized that school does matter. I got to learn that not only can you use your body to accomplish things, but you have to use your mind to accomplish anything in life. I reflect on my senior year, not winning an individual state championship. But then I went on to win not only the North Carolina Freestyle and Greco National State Championships, but I also won, as Coach said earlier, won the Southeastern Regional Championship. Why is that a big deal? We probably had 13 individual state champions in that tournament in my division that day. And they all got to see me win as they learned you can get better. I jumped to my senior year at UNC, being named team captain of the wrestling team. More importantly, I graduated from UNC as the wrestler from North Carolina, was one of the first African-American young men to actually graduate from that program. To close, I mentioned earlier tearing my knee a couple of years ago and thought about the day that I broke my collarbone back in high school. I thought, again, this really sucks. My time at Thomas Wingate Senior High School had its highs and lows, tough times, but good times. Whether getting beat down in the wrestling room, where you at, bud? Breaking my collarbone, or struggling to understand a new concept in a chemistry class. I know now that my accomplishments did not occur without the strength of my family. And for you guys that know my mom, she didn't play. you did your schoolwork. I know without my family, strong teachers, strong coaches that I had at Andrews, I would not be standing here today. Nor would I be the person that I have continued to strive to be and want to be. TW Andrews taught me something. Adversity can make you or make me or made me accomplish things well beyond my goals or dreams. Tonight is one of the highlights of my life, beyond my dreams. I am truly honored to be a member of the Thomas Wingate Andrews Senior High School Hall of Fame. Thank you.
At the conclusion of the banquet, we're going to clear some tables away, and Tracy and Stacy and Valerie Lloyd going to come up here and do some messing around up here. So everybody clear out of the way. Our next inductee is Michael Gilchrist. Michael Gilchrist excelled in both football and track and field while at Andrews. In football, he was a 3-year starter at center and helped the team advance to the state quarterfinals in 1988. This 1989 graduate of Andrews threw the shot and discus for the track team. Michael was the 3A state champion in the discus in 1988 and runner-up in 1989. In both those years, the track team won the 3A state championship. Mike went on to High Point University, and in his very first track meet, broke the school's discus record that had stood since 1941. And his record stood for another 21 years after that. Mike lives in Lenore. He's a sales representative for Goods Home Furnishings. He is married. His wife Melissa is here tonight, and his 2 children, Sterling and Tinsley. Please welcome Michael Gilchrist to the Andrews Hall of Fame.
First of all, I'm a little disappointed I didn't go in the first round, but I'm just kidding. 2 of my best friends were Jamal Pettiford and Ren David, and I tell you, the boys, that's 2 of the hardest men I believe I've ever had to go against. I'm the guy that had to hit those guys every day. I remember the first time they put me up against Jamal, and the first time he hit me, I thought I broke my spine. So I went over to the trainer, and he said, "You all right?" And I said, "No, sir, I don't think I am." I said, "I can't see right now." I remember him asking me, he said, "Well, can you tell me how to spell Mississippi?" And I said, "The state or the river?" So I had to sit down for a little bit. But I tell you, first of all, I want to thank God for all of my many blessings of a wonderful family, and they're all here. And I do appreciate that. And I tell you, as you age a little bit, I'm 48 now, but as you get older, you realize you can't live a single day without him. And I'm so grateful for all the things that he's done for me and my family. But I remember as a small boy, we lived close to A.J. Simeon Stadium, and on weekends, I think it was Sammy let us come over there and we'd play on the field. And he wasn't too excited about it, but I enjoyed that as a kid. And I just knew one day I grew up and wanted to play on that field, and it was a privilege and an honor. But I remember my brother, he'd come home from work or from school, and my grandmother let us walk across the street and go to the ball games. And I remember going up through the traffic. We'd always stop at the Wilco and get some little hot balls and some now laters and some food. I remember going up to all the cars. We'd pass those. And man, you get close to that stadium, you start hearing that drum line. People started running with that band. And man, I'd get wired, fired, and inspired. And I just knew one day, I said, man, this is me right here. And I really enjoyed that time. Going to those games for my brother. And he was a pretty good athlete too. We went to Griffin and Coach League, and unfortunately we just didn't have a lot of money in our family. And I remember the bank called him one time, Wachovia. They called and wanted to see if they could get their free calendar back. We were so broke. So, I appreciate my brother. That's broke. But I remember my brother. He's quit sports and worked so I could excel and do what I wanted to do. and play sports, and I do appreciate him doing that for my family. But just real quick, I want to not talk about me as much as I want to talk about these coaches. Guys, I tell you, the coaches and teachers in this room, you don't ever think you make a difference. I'm telling you, you do. If anybody knows me, was a father to me, was Coach Gill. And everybody that knows me knows how much my dad wasn't around, and he just really helped raise me. And I can remember quitting school. I had gone to Miss Quinto and told her I wasn't going to be able to go to school no more. I had to go help my mom work. And I remember the gym lights was off and all the bleachers was pushed against the weight room there. And I remember walking through and trying to sneak out. And I remember a voice going, "Hey, Gilchrist, what are you doing?" And that was Coach Gill. And I said, "Lord." I thought it was God. And I looked over. Coach Gill was leaning over from the weight room, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Coach, I just had to quit school." I said, "I'm going to have to go help my family." He said, "Get up here, son." And about 45 minutes later, of course, we had to do a few reps. But about 45 minutes to an hour, he had convinced me the best way to help my family stay in school and go to college. And I tell you, you talk about that one time in your life that changed your whole life, and that was probably it. But I want to tell you, every coach that's here, I want to tell you, you mean a lot to me. And Coach Goins, I'm the one that I always had to, I remember every time we got our grades, and I don't know if you guys remember, but I had to stop by and give them to Coach. And, I think it was a C or something like that. You had to, you wasn't going to play ball, but I appreciate the motivation in these coaches. And old Coach Gill, I remember it. Do y'all remember the old truck he had that had the gears up on the column? He never would take credit for it, but I remember me and my mom, he would sneak over in the middle of the night. I'd hear that screen door open, and he'd leave groceries. So we'd have something to eat. And, well, you can't say that. And I look at these coaches, and I think about how much time they were away from their family to raise us, teach us how to be men and how to survive, and the things they do for us. I tell you, it was unreal. I remember the next day I'd go up to Coach and say, "Coach Q, I appreciate that food." And he said, "I don't know what you're talking about, boy." I said, "Coach, I heard you." But he never would take credit. He never would take credit. In our sophomore year, we had a fire, and we lost everything. I was on the football field, and I saw my brother coming through on the field, and I said, "Man, this can't be good." And they told me we'd had a fire and lost all my trophies I'd won since I was a little boy. It got so hot, I lost everything. We had the clothes, it was in my locker. And I remember Coach Gill taking me to the store and bought me enough underwear, t-shirts, socks, just so I could go to class the next day. Anyway, I'm going to hush. I get long-winded. We can go here a long time. I want to thank the committee. I'm a true Red Raider all the way through. And I tell you, it's, 30 years? 30 years since I was in school. And I honestly have to say, I'm not sure a day goes by I don't think about how that school influenced me. It taught me how to win. And to this day, they laugh at me, but I benched 405 the other night, boys. I work out with guys who are in their 20s, and I'm sitting there, and I will say this, I had every part of every joint in my body wrapped. And I got it up, and I didn't want to let them know it, but I hurt them. But I do appreciate these coaches and these teachers, and again, I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank the committee. Congratulations to everybody else, and you guys be careful going home. Thank you.
Good job, Mike. We're going to go out of order right here next, and alphabetical order, that is. And our next inductee is going to be Robin Ingram. Robin graduated from Andrews in 1979. She played 4 sports: volleyball, basketball, softball, and track, and was all conference in all 4. She was the leading hitter in softball in 1979 and the conference player of the year in basketball on a team that reached the regional finals. She attended North Carolina A&T and played basketball for the Lady Aggies. Robin remains active in her church and community, working with the elderly and homeless. She has children and grandchildren, and she lives in Lexington and works at Southern Lunch. Please join me in welcoming Robin Ingram to the Andrews Athletic Hall of Fame.
evening. We had told me 79 that I would be standing here waiting the induction of the Hall of Fame. I would have said, heck yes, I will be. Becoming a champion, becoming the best requires an ironclad belief that you are the best. This mindset was taught to us every practice, every game, and every time out. And this idea of pushing to become the best was not restricted to basketball. It was Coach Thomas' description for life. To quote Langston Hughes, life with me ain't been no crystal stair. Coach Thomas was our mentor, our counselor, and our guide to being successful in life. As a team, we faced challenges, and as a team, we conquered them. As individuals, we all face challenges in our lives, but as women who were taught that we are greater than our problems, we have found ourselves standing on the stage, being honored for being the best of the best, at the best high school in North Carolina, Andrews High School. I accept this honor not only for myself, for my family and friends, my best friend, and for every child who ever dreamed of being the best. Keep your passion, keep working, and keep your mind focused on your dreams. Because dreams, heck yes, you can do it. I also, in closing, I would like to thank Michael Andrews for giving me the honor to represent you. Give me all the honor and praise to my Lord and Savior for allowing me to see this day. Thank you all. Go Red Raiders and hurrah, hurrah.
Thank you, Robin. Our next inductee is Nathan McKinney. In addition to being an outstanding three-sport athlete, Nathan was also an outstanding student at Andrews. This 1999 graduate was a member of the National Honor Society, was goalkeeper on the soccer team for 3 years, making all conference as a sophomore. As a center fielder and pitcher in baseball, he was team most valuable player on 2 occasions. All conference, all 4 years, and all Guilford County on 2 occasions. Nathan played football for 2 years and was all conference both years, in addition to making the all Guilford County team as a senior. During his senior year, Nate kicked 3 field goals over 50 yards and was named to the Associated Press All-State football team. As a senior, Nathan won the T. Wingate Andrews Award as the school's most outstanding athlete. Nathan went on to play football for Appalachian State, where he was the starting punter for 4 years. He was all-conference for the Mountaineers on 2 occasions. During his senior year, Nathan had 2 punts over 70 yards, averaged 44.5 yards per punt, and was named a second-team All-American. Nate lives in High Point, is a member of the High Point Fire Department, and with him tonight are his wife Amy and his 2 children, Emery and Carlin. Please welcome Nate McKinney into the Andrews Athletic Hall of Fame.
Hey, good evening. I won't be as long. There's been some very good speeches already, and I just want to say a lot of the things that they've already said. Thank you to the committee. It's not for them. I want to be up here. I want to thank Robert Murphy. I don't know if anybody has said him tonight, but you put me on this path, and I appreciate it. You didn't have to take that time out of your day to speak with me, talk about this. I want to thank the coaches. I got a couple coaches over here right now. Coach Brooks, Coach Mizell. Thank you very much for the time that you spent with me, the lessons you taught me, and just the time that you put in. Coach Payne, So I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and moved down here, and I didn't come to Welborn except for my end of my 8th grade year. So I didn't have a lot of friends in this area. So when I went to high school, what sports done to me was give me an opportunity to become friends with people, to learn how to be a teammate, to interact with people, and just learn. And Coach Payne was one of the ones who, well, he had me for all 4 years in baseball. All I wanted to do was play baseball, and I was really good at it, but I don't think I was the best athlete. I think it was the work, determination that I had, and someone like Coach Payne pushing me to be the best. I wasn't the best, but he pushed me to be the best. And I think the biggest influence that a person could have is a high school coach who has a kid that comes from 14, 15 years old. You get them till they're 18 years old. That's a time in a person's life when there's a lot of change going on. And for a coach like him, I can't thank you enough, man. I really can't. For a coach like him to take the time out, I'm talking about, we would go out there Saturdays and Sundays. He would throw the ball to me for hours, and I would just hit, or I would pitch, you know? So thank you, I appreciate it. And like there's a gentleman earlier said, talk about coaches. Coaches, high school coaches especially, have a big influence on people's lives. And I don't know how much y'all know that, but thank you very much. Basically what Andrew's taught me is how to be a very good individual in a society where it's kind of frowned upon to be a good guy. We learn diversity. We learn how to love each other. We learn how to be friends with each other. You learn how that somebody may argue with you, but at the end of the day, you love them. You come together, you work as a team, and you move forward. This is going to be hard for me. I apologize. There's been 4 individuals in my life who, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. My 2 brothers are here tonight, Jason and Jared. They have been my biggest cheerleaders. They have been to all my games. That was when we were little kids, all the way up to Appalachian and beyond. If it wasn't for you 2, the support, the love, I wouldn't be here. I hope I made you proud, and I hope you look up to me.
Always.
There's 2 people that aren't here tonight. That's my mom and my dad. My dad's developed Parkinson's disease, and he died in 2017 after complications from that. My mom, she died 8 months later, in July of 18, excuse me. The amount, I can't even thank them enough. I hope they're looking down on me right now, and I hope they got a big smile. I hope they're proud of me. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. So that's it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Nathan. Our next inductee is Alan Peters. Alan played football all 3 years at Andrews and was a starter for 2 years, including starting at linebacker on the 1976 team, which won 13 games in the state 4A championship. During Alan's senior year, he was named All-Conference and won the team's Headhunter Award, given to its toughest and most tenacious player. After graduating in 1978, Alan was recruited to play football for Elon, where he was a 4-year letterman and 3-year starter at guard. In 1980 and 1981, Elon won the NAIA National Championship, and Alan was named to the All-Conference team both of these years. After college, Alan joined Benefit Plan Services, a third-party administrator for group health insurance plans. He serves as vice president of the company. He lives in High Point, married to wife Monica, and they have a daughter, Claire. His sisters and parents are in attendance tonight, and I'm sure Alan may mention something about that. Please welcome Alan to the Andrews Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Coach Goins. Just have a few things. First of all, this is a tremendous honor to be inducted in the class of 2019. We all couldn't be here without our parents. My parents, Larry and Sandra Peters, are my biggest fans, as all our parents are. And I want to thank you. My sisters, I have 3 sisters. I'm the oldest, so I have 3 sisters. And I'm the oldest. They're in. And the reason why I got the Headhunter Award was that I couldn't hit them, I had to hit somebody else. And so otherwise Larry beat the crap out of it. Anyway, I want to thank y'all. As far as Red Raider being, as far as concerned, we moved here from New Orleans in 1968, and our permanent residence was on Carolina Street, which is behind Andrews High School. And our house faced the practice field. So when I would come home from elementary school, we would try to cross the creek there, go up, and this is before they had the gate or the fence there now, and sit there and watch football practice. And I remember Mike, he was on the team. Johnny Evans, a great team. So that was, I guess, my first influence with Red Raider. So we are all Red Raider through and through. My sisters, they all graduated there. They were either cheerleaders or in the band. So yes, we're Red Raiders through and through. I would like to mention Coach Gill. Coach Gill, and the gentleman talked about him earlier. Coach Gill helped me get into Elon. He contacted Elon, went and tried out at Elon, and got a partial scholarship there. So I want to thank the late Coach Gill for having that much courage in me to recommend me there. I want to thank the committee. This is a lot of work. You don't get paid to do this. And the food, I want to thank the folks back there for the food. It's very delicious tonight. Thank Coach Goins, Coach Kazaza, and thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, Alan. Our next inductee is Val Penix. When Val graduated from Andrews in 1972, women's athletic programs were organized as Girls Athletic Association activities. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association did not regulate or sponsor athletic programs for women at that time. Nevertheless, Val participated in volleyball, basketball, softball, and track for the GAA. She was most valuable player 2 times in basketball, 2 times in softball, and a state meet track qualifier in the long jump and 440-yard dash all 3 years she participated. After graduating from Andrews, Val attended GTCC and High Point College. She was the first female African-American officer for the High Point Police Department and has served as a sergeant of diplomatic security for the U.S. State Department. Val is currently an ordained minister and is the founder of New Thing Ministries International. She has a daughter, Tanisha Stewart, and 3 grandchildren, Jaden, Jocelyn, and Joshua. Good. Please welcome Val Penix to the Andrews Athletic Hall of Fame.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. It is very humbling to stand before you tonight for the committee, for the past, for the present, and the future inductees to come. It's humbling. It's humbling. When I left Andrews in 1972 and went on to pursue dreams and not so good dreams, I had some rough times. Life taught me a lot of lessons. But there's one thing for sure in those lessons. I'm humbled at my parents who gave much. My mom was my biggest cheerleader. She was also my nosebleeder on the sidelines when they punched me. My brothers, one who, well, both the baby and the older. I'm the oldest. My sister, my daughter, my grandchildren. Have given me a hunger and a zeal for life in a way that I never appreciated life. There's so many people in the room that I know. Our judge, Hunter, was Coach Hunter to me. Coach Faree, all of the different people, and I stand here today and I remember the Deuce Cat, Herbert Coles, all of the many, many people that should have been here today. But fate didn't have it that they could be here, that were gifted beyond measure. I am grateful for a coach right there, Brenda Jo Thomas, that stood for what was right. She was a mother at school. When I came out of Andrews, you had to be accountable. The leadership at Andrews had an accountability system that is very much needed today. We learned sportsmanship. We learned teamwork. We learned unity beyond what most people would know unity. We were bad, y'all. We paved the way. We were bad. And when I left, I had no idea in the years to come that this would ever take place. It was never an aspiration to be acknowledged for the gifts that God had given me. Now, my brother would love to get up here. That's the one that I found out how good I was, listening to him. To my sister, who, the young man who was saying, unfortunately, how all the trophies that he had accumulated. There were so many trophies, didn't have anywhere to put them. But over the years, I started seeing them disappear. And I said, well, what's going on? And I finally put 2 and 2 together. On the Saturdays or the weekends that it was for my sister to clean up, a trophy disappeared. So she broke it. So anyway, I would have loved to, one of the pictures that they put up there, my daughter went on to play for Western Kentucky, and on one of their brochures, she's center cover of that brochure. The me and then the her. I wanted that picture. But nevertheless, we were able to pave the way for those of you that are here, those that have gone on, and those that will come. But tonight, I am truly indeed honored to know that we have such an establishment that we still care about people. We care about the individual and to build that individual. To Mrs. Sheehan, who she thinks I'm being nice, but Miss Sheehan has got something going on with, and Coach Goins, they got the serum on youth. And I want to know why. Miss Sheehan has not changed. Coach Goins looks the same. And I'm like, okay, where did I miss it? Okay. But ladies and gentlemen, aside of all of that, there was someone that believed in me. There was someone that saw what was in me and had the wisdom, the skill set, and the knowledge to know how to release me to reach it. And if there's anything that you could do for me tonight, I am grateful for God because I'm in the people helping business, and that's what it's all about. Until we learn to love one another as God has loved us, we failed. We failed. But if you would tonight, to my granddaughter Jaden, my little Jordy who got under the weather today, couldn't be here with me, and my grandson Joshua who passed at 10 months. I'm eternally grateful for the support of my family. Like I said, they're all here. My number one rooter, my mom. My number two, Brenda Jo Thomas. And if you would appease me at this moment, if you would please stand with me, I want to honor my coach. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Val. Our next inductee is Sarah Sorrell. Sarah graduated from Andrews in 1971, entering in 1968 when the school opened. She was in the first class to go through all 3 years at Andrews. Like Val, Sarah participated in the GAA, since the North Carolina High School Association did not sanction women's athletics at that time. She was actively involved in volleyball, basketball, softball, and track. She was secretary of the GAA and co-captain of the basketball team during her senior year. She went to Western Carolina, playing basketball for 2 years, then transferred to Elon, graduating in 1975. She taught in the Durham City Schools, participating outside the schools on a women's softball team that went to the American Softball Association's national tournament. She later worked for the Guilford County Schools as a health and PE teacher. Sarah obtained a graduate degree in social work from University of Louisville and worked as a licensed clinical social worker until her retirement in 2010. She joins her brother Billy in the Andrews Hall of Fame. Sarah now resides in Beaufort, North Carolina. Please welcome Sarah Sorrell to the Andrews Hall of Fame.
I'm also very humbled to be here and very grateful for this award. It was 1968-69 school year. Andrews first opened their doors to students. William Penn and High Point Central High School. It was time of desegregation. It was the time of the Vietnam War. My older brother was in Vietnam. And like it already said, that it was the Girls Athletic Association When I went to college, we had to make our own uniforms. So we played 6 women basketball in high school, and then when I went to college, it changed to 5. So there's been a lot of change since I was in high school. Every teacher was responsible for developing their own programs. And Miss Brenda Jo Thomas was responsible for the Girls Athletic Association. She came to me twice in study home. First time to ask me to join the Girls Athletic Association. I remember as clearly as today. The second time I said yes, and I'm really glad I did. She was my teacher and my coach, my mentor, and has been my friend for 51 years. I want to thank her for nominating me for this award. And thank you for also being a mother to me. I also want to thank the committee for awarding me this award. And lastly, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving me the ability of athleticism. And for one day I'll be with him in heaven. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. And our last inductee of the evening, Mr. Pete Hunter. William K. Pete Hunter is a native of Charlotte, graduating from West Charlotte High School, where he excelled in football. He played tailback and linebacker at Voorhees Junior College in Denmark, South Carolina, and then at Livingstone in Salisbury. Upon graduation, Pete became a teacher and coach at William Penn High School. With the integration of the High Point Public Schools in 1968, Pete moved to Andrews as a science teacher and assistant coach in football, basketball, and baseball. The 1972 football team won the state 4A championship. Pete enrolled in the North Carolina Central School of Law and earned his law degree in 1976. He has served as an assistant district attorney, a public defender, a criminal and civil trial attorney, and was twice appointed as a Guilford County District Court judge. Pete has been involved in numerous professional and civic organizations and has coached baseball in the Macedonia Baseball Association. Pete has never lost his love for Andrews, having served in the Booster Club, is a faithful supporter of the football team, and is the founding chairman of the T. Wingate Andrews Hall of Fame. Pete is here with his wife, Pam. They have 3 children, Tab, Cinnamon, and Morgan, and 4 grandchildren. Please welcome Pete Hunter into the Andrews Athletic Hall of Fame.
Come on, Judge.
Well, this is not the best, but I am last. Just looking out over the crowd that we have in attendance, it really does something for my spirit. Initially, I talked to Coach Garnes at a football game, on the bleachers looking at a game and asked him would he like to become involved, or would he become involved on a committee to develop the Andrews Hall of Fame. And without prodding anything, he said yes. Then of course I talked to Mike, same response, and they got some other members or people who were actively like-minded and wanted to become involved. And of course they did. One of the speakers said something that's very important, that it does take a lot of work to do this. We just didn't walk over here and all of a sudden, people started coming, or we had to go out and recruit nominees for this occasion. Didn't happen like that. All you have to do is just walk through the commons and the gymnasium and look to each side and you'll see all of those trophies. Those trophies just weren't given out, or just went down there, Andrews went down, the administration would go down there and just buy those trophies and stick them in there to impress people. They were earned. And you have seen some of the recipients, and a result of their hard work, young people who won those trophies or plaques that are in the trophy case. And if you miss coming for the first Hall of Fame, the second one, and the third one, the fourth, and fifth, you miss something. Because you would see on the screen these young people who won all of those awards, medals, plaques, and trophies. You would have seen those people, and you would understand that humans earn each one of those trophies or medals or awards. But further, you have to understand too that the people that won those trophies or awards were standing on the shoulders of coaches who helped develop them and steered or guided them. Excuse me. It's a lot of hard work to do that. And a lot of people go to a wrestling match, basketball game, baseball game, and they just see what is on the field, and they figure that all of those young people who get out there and perform, that they didn't have, nobody gave them any instructions. That is not true. When I came to Andrews, it was, and Sarah already gave you the background on it, the school was still in a developmental stage structurally. The gymnasium was a shell. There was no flooring or anything. They were just scraping around in there, digging up dirt and columns in there, no flooring or anything else. The athletic fields were being developed. So all of it was in the developmental stage. We practiced football at William Penn High School, which meant that players had to get on the bus, and we would drive the bus over to William Penn High School and practice on their practice field, finish up, either shower or get back on the bus and shower when you got home, got back over here, and we had to do that on a daily basis. We had a lot of tenacious young people, and the rougher things were, the tougher they got. And of course, we were considered something of a stepchild to, at that time, the consideration of the big school, or the only school in High Point. So we had to fight for everything. We had to literally fight for everything. And we did. And the young people on our team, young men that were out there on the practice field every day, they gave us all that they had. We had equipment-wise, we had the equipment. We had everything, and of course we had young men. We had young men who worked hard every day. And they didn't think about the fact that they had to be transported, that they were transported over to William Penn and back. That didn't bother them at all. They just wanted to play. And they really wanted to play against the other school. And for some reason, the other school didn't want to play us. I think the theory was that we were beneath them. They were 4A, and we were, I think at that time, either 2A. We were still growing. But we knew that we were good. Each day during practice, those young men hit so hard, just doing practice, I thought they were gonna kill somebody out there. And it was just dangerous. But they wanted to play somebody. So eventually, we worked hard, kept working hard, and we kept beating people all along. And sooner or later, the press, media decided that it was time for a High Point, Andrews, and Central game. And it materialized. And so at that time, we were playing in the Albion Miller Stadium, the High Point University Stadium out there. They reworked it and everything, but at that time it was just fence and barbed wire on the top of it, and little or no grass on the field. But we just wanted to play. That was the best we had at that time. So when a big game came on, and that night that we played, I think there were over 10,000 people in the stadium. And no telling how many on the outside of the stadium looking through the fence. And we won that game 23-7. So after we beat, you call it luck. Call it luck if you want to, but it's still 23-7. But one thing we've been blessed with is that the fact we have had good athletes there. We've not only had good athletes, we've had good students there. And these students have worked hard, and you heard about what the students of the Hall of Famers here today have done since they left Andrews. So they had to get some foundation somewhere. And I want to say that they got it there at 1920 win. I think that's where they got it, at Andrews. So we said, Val, I think Val mentioned one young man that, Val, he's gonna get in here sooner or later, Charles Alexander Duscat, probably one of the best athletes we've ever had here at Andrews. And Sammy Little, we just can't find Sammy. But at any rate, I want you to see Sammy Little. Sammy is one of probably the best athlete, and that's saying a whole lot, that graduated from Andrews. He was just all man. And, but anyway, I've had an opportunity to see and coach a lot of these great athletes that come through Andrews initially. And I've had the opportunity to do this and standing on the shoulders of these young men and to be, and I'm proud to say that I was a coach. And for some reason or another, I'll always be coach. I was in court, traffic court, once, and one of my former students just happened to get a ticket. So she decided to contest the ticket. So the officer told his side of what happened, and she told her side of what happened. And she concluded by saying, "Coach, you know me. You know me, and you know I wouldn't lie to you." Okay. So I won't tell you what happened in the case of disposition, but I believe she had me. But anyway, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out here tonight and supporting the Hall of Fame, or just supporting the program that we have here tonight. We'll continue to do this, and we want to fill up this room or fill up wherever we go. But at any rate, when we started out, we didn't know how many people would be receptive to a Hall of Fame. But we know now, but it takes a lot of work. We can talk about Hall of Fame all we want to, but if you do not come or you do not support it, not going very far. So thank you very much, and I certainly appreciate this honor, and I appreciate the committee accepting.
Well, we have seen another wonderful class inducted into the Andrews Hall of Fame. It's been a great evening. One group I forgot to recognize, which I want to right now, Jay Eanes and Piedmont Audio Video for our video tonight. Thank you so much, Jay. You do what you've done. At this time, I would like all the inductees to come forward one more time right up here in front of the stage, if you would, please. No, we're not going to clear away the tables and go at it, with Stacy and Tracy and Bobby.
Come on, Bobby, let's get this done.
But this will be an opportunity in just a minute for some pictures, if you could hold off just a minute. We do have a cake honoring the occasion back on the back table. Please partake of that. You're certainly welcome for that. And once again, let's all stand and give a great big round of applause for the 2019 class. That concludes our banquet, and everyone have a good night.
That's why I went up there and I saw the decision.
You doing okay?
He did a 14-year-old ranking. And they had one there in high school. Just as an internet. One out of 4. I should have won 2 more. Even though it's 5-4.
Bring him over there to play. He looked
Where's Sedge?